oh, God, I got warmed up. And this little girl can't let go of her mother's arm. That's the painting.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't show you the painting, but maybe Lisla's got a photo. But that was so exciting to have her like holding on like for dear life. So then there's this dad and the 3 daughters and the wife, and he's way off in this corner, right? And later on, I find out that little 9-year-old Olivia was the bridesmaid 4 years ago. So then I'm going, okay, that doesn't sound like Dad. Okay, so then I realize she's off in this corner. So I wake up in the morning and I go, right, I don't think I need to leave him in the corner. I'm not going to move him over. So I'll just put his hand right out into the center of the painting, just taking the entire space, like these are mine, kind of thing.
Yeah, possessive type.
Oh yeah. So I just threw his hand in the middle, and the mother just broke up. It was so touching to have this combination. So it was like me figuring it out, like how to, because the painting was done one day, and then we were going to come and kind of tweak it the next day. And that was the big moment to just throw this hand in the center of the space. That was a very exciting shift of the painting, the momentum of the painting, and the meaning of the painting. I got another one of this gay guy, and he's got a photograph of his boyfriend that he wants to give him for their anniversary. What? Give them the painting of the photograph? I don't care.
Yeah.
I need to do a painting of a photograph. So I said, but I'll do a painting of you holding the photograph. Now, that becomes a frame within a frame within a frame.
Right.
Back to Shakespeare, see? And this is really exciting because now I get to do this thing where he's holding the photograph of his lover, see? Now, in the meanwhile, if he's looking...
I'm actually picturing this right now.
Huh?
I can actually picture this the way you're describing
it. If
it.
he's looking away, that means that the lover died. If he's looking at me, then it means that everything's fine and he wants you to know that this is the guy he likes. See? So it all depends on how the eyes go. Because if he's looking away, he's like thinking about a lost memory. See, nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's something lost. But if he's looking at me, then it's a different question. So it's a different meaning. He's owning his present tense.
Okay. And you always think about that in all your paintings, like the different, like
how to pull it off.
Yeah, and how to bring out a different meaning.
What's the ritual?
Right.
Ritual is ritual to function. So things got to work or it doesn't work. See, that kind of thing. So as an example, there's you saw the one of the woman with her hands up. It's a wedding gown.
Right.
She puts her hands in a benediction.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on there? It's almost like she could have stigmata. She's got this hand straight out like this, and she's got a wedding gown on and a little twinkle in her eyes, and she's got. But of course, it's a wedding gown. I keep them all on the ladder because I want them way up there. Because basically, they're heroic figures, so you want to see them from below.
Right.
When you're putting them on the ladder. But by the time she's got her hands like this, I've got a miracle. Because she's got her hands out, so I put her feet pointing straight down like she's flying 4 feet off the air.
Like angelic almost.
Absolutely. It was a misunderstanding because she worked with Ursula at the Divine School. It turned out the Divine was actually the name of the owner of the school. And I thought that the Divine School had to be some Catholic, wild school. So I completely misunderstood the situation.
For a couple years.
Oh, yeah. And so therefore...
But you still pulled off an intense meaning to it, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, it had intense meaning.
Yeah.
This one is extraordinary because this one is Teresa. She's like, we're laughing and we're painting this painting, and eventually I realize she's in this miserable, look on her face, like totally pathetic, operatic, tragic figure. So I'm going, what's going on with Teresa? So, but I made light of it, and so did she. So we just kept going because it's a wedding gown spoof. So who cares? I'm just painting Teresa in a wedding gown. It just looks horrible, and we ignore it and we keep going because it has no meaning. 2 weeks later, she calls me up and she remembers that she had this flash during the posing, which I accidentally caught as a literal person, but not knowing why it was there. I was smart enough to leave it. Like it was dramatic enough, I thought I'll just leave this stupid expression on her face for no reason. But 2 weeks later, I found out it was actually something I legitimately caught, which was she had this boyfriend who was a fiancé who jilted her. 2 years later, he comes back as a ghost spirit, and he tells her, look, I get what you're doing now with the shaman work, and because I'm a ghost.
Right.
Before that, he thought it was pretty flaky stuff. See?
Yeah.
No, he just goes and
Yeah.
perfectly obvious. You talk to ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh well, of course you talk to ghosts because I'm a ghost. So he goes to talk to her, and he said, "Would you mind? I died in a motorcycle accident. Would you mind flying back to Italy, take care of my friends at the funeral?" So she's helping his friends grieve after he jilted her 2 years ago, and now he's figured out that she can do this healing work. So his friends need healing, so he gets it. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's amazing how things go full circle in life.
Yeah, but it's very beautiful.
Yeah. So how long you're a world-renowned painter? How long art is in your family and in your blood, basically, correct?
Yes.
But this isn't something that you learn. This flows through your DNA, basically. Am I correct?
Well, my dad was a weekend painter, and 9 children went through, my uncles and aunts, went through the bomb school.
Okay. Here in Allentown.
Probably supported the bomb school, considering there were 9 kids in the school. Because he's holding me on his, bosom. I'm getting christened at age 6 months, Walter Emerson Bond. So yeah, it goes in my blood. But everybody was a weekend painter, and I like that. I think weekend painters do it out of a free passion. They don't think of it professionally.
They don't think of how much money they can make from it.
No, because if you think about it, amateur means amatore, to love, and it means you do it because you love it. It doesn't mean you do it. So it turns out that all the great artists were actually rich, like Manet and Barry Cassatt, and so they actually did it because they needed to. Because Cezanne, they're pretty Toulouse-Lautrec, rich guys. Very few poor ones. Van Gogh was very, very rare. Even he was 100% subsidized by his brother, so that he could survive. The point is that the concept of a professional artist as a craftsman or as a tradesman it's very little to do with aesthetics.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with what do people want. Teresa.
Yeah. I know.
So the thing is that
Yeah, my brother is
the artist today is in serious trouble and needs to look at why they're painting. I actually sell a great many paintings, and I refuse to paint them for the person who's buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I had this great luck of having a portrait artist in college as a teacher, and he talked about his suffering across his entire career because he had to change the color to fit the furniture, and because he had to fix things like maybe 20 more hours of work for like almost no extra money, basically.
Yeah.
So he's feeding a family, so he basically had to do whatever these clients wanted for commissions. So I said to myself, I will never work on commission. Ta-da!
Yeah.
I sell all these paintings without commission. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, you paint it exactly as you want it, they take it or leave it, and that's the answer. So
Okay.
Nothing. I paint it for myself, and if they want it, fine. And I've got a few paintings that they didn't buy, but not many. And I'm really happy when they don't buy them, because those are the ones I want to keep anyway, which is all of them. See, because I paint it for myself, so why wouldn't I want to keep it?
Right.
I paint it in the way I would want to keep it. See, to paint any other painting is to live your life and then die and not having lived your life. Then why would you do that? It's astonishing. So the thing is that many artists do that. They kill themselves. They kill their careers. They kill their spirit. They kill their passion. But I feel like what I'm doing is more about Manet and Van Gogh and de Kooning, and Satie, and a lot of other things. There's a good example, the one of Anne Lawlick and John Lawlick. You see that right there, the couple?
Yes.
Okay, so that one I whipped off in about 15 minutes.
I think I actually saw them posing for that
Oh yeah.
one.
And then what happened was, it was it's basically the initial sketch.
Okay.
And what a surprise! I thought, whoops, I've got something I need to keep there. So I put on the brakes, and instead of saying I'll give you a good-looking completed painting, I said I like where it is now. They then took photographs, and it went viral on the internet, as is. without actually having quote unquote finished it.
Right.
Because I liked it where it was. And guess what? It turned out they liked it where it was. More interesting, and actually it nailed them anyway. The thing is that sometimes a painting doesn't need to go into another category of finish or polished or smooth. You see, it can stay in a very rough general place.
Right.
And that's the excitement. You see? And that's the privilege of the artist to make a decision like that, to back off of a painting and not do something. I've actually done a number of paintings where I backed off quickly and then just painted another one.
Yeah.
So that I can keep the one where it accidentally landed. Because sometimes these paintings accidentally land somewhere. And that's actually, by the way, the secret of painting, which, by the way, Natalie and Laura know, which is that the paintings come to you. They fall out of the sky. They just drop. And then there they are. And so the artist is basically channeling, obviously, letting this thing happen. And no surprise, we're talking about Jackson Pollock saying, I let the painting cook for a while. He lets the painting cook. It just sits there cooking by itself. So that's the point. That's a particular philosophy. Again, there's two kinds of painters. The ones who go in with a plan, an intention, a design, a construct, and they execute. And the ones who let the painting fall in their laps.
Basically create itself.
Yeah, like the girl who's holding onto her mother's arm. I'm not dumb. I'm gonna keep it like that. Like the little boy who's screaming in some funny pain that's gonna show up 20 years from now. From another lifetime. And I had to catch that on his face. I wasn't gonna let that go. Luckily, the parents missed the fact that I would paint a boy with a little tortured look on his face. See? But the truth is, it showed up and it was there. Just the same with Teresa. He wanted to keep something going on in its most dramatic form. So that was the excitement of the painting.
Okay.
I had a couple guys where their fathers